Hi everybody, this is Debbie-Ducic with GutZy Women, and that's with a Z. And this is going to be a second part in a series of videos where we're going to be talking to two very smart young women who have started their own business. And we're going to talk to them a little bit now about technology, how they're using it in their business. But before we get into that, we have had a discussion for many years as baby boomers that we had this fear and frustration of technology because we weren't brought up in it. Now we say, well, all the younger kids are getting it really easily. It's easy for them. They've been brought up with it. And I think that maybe we have a few dissenting views over here. So I would like to ask you guys, when you first started, now you both got out of college. When did you graduate?
I graduated in April of 2005.
Okay, so you've both been out about the same time. When did you start on the computer?
I think I was in 6th grade when I got started.
Okay.
5th or 6th. It was a big old Apple computer.
Right.
It had the 1D person that was all digital, and there was a part of the screen that didn't work, and you had to do the DOS system and try to load up the big old floppy disk, which was huge.
Yeah.
And our favorite game was Oregon Trail.
Yes, it was. It really was.
And so these guys learned how to play games and how to keyboard, and so as you were coming up through school and you went to college, did you have computer classes in college?
Not typing courses or anything like that. We, for my degree in science, we used the Excel program a lot for tracking our labs. I experimented a lot with generating graphs and charts and things like that. But I didn't take any courses as far as web design or HTML. Things I wish now that I own a business, I wish I had learned.
Right. But did they even have, in the college that you went to, do you even remember them having those classes available?
I think they did.
Did they?
They did for business majors. They encouraged certain courses to be taken. From a science major's perspective, we were all on our way to some graduate school or PhD program. And we were kind of told, well, you don't really need the technological side of a computer because you'll never design your own website. You'll never have to do this yourself.
Wrong.
I'm doing everything myself. And with Tisha, Tisha and I are taking it upon ourselves to learn the different programs we were talking about, trying to get involved with web design on our own. So we're not necessarily dependent on a third party all the time, but also can update our websites with calendars and contacts more quickly.
Okay, so two questions here. You are running your own business. You're doing a million things. You don't really have time to learn this. So how are you dealing with that? Second thing, where did you start, and was there that fear? Did you have a fear and a frustration?
Yeah, definitely. Well, for me, how I'm dealing with as far as using technology and trying to get everything done, which there's like a million things to do, I am designating a lot of that out. So for my website, I decide the changes, but I'm giving those changes to the webmaster, and he makes those changes for me, and I pay him to do that. And for me right now, that it is completely and totally worth the cost.
Right.
If I look at the opportunity cost of my time versus that, it's completely worth paying somebody. And then,
And so, how about you?
I do have a web designer working on my website, and it's been a wonderful experience because I have a good relationship with him as far as the designing goes. But I do have a frustration with getting information updated. We're in fairs and do speaking engagements, and just life changes, and so that's kind of my challenge, is learning how to become a little more independent on that so things can be updated more quickly.
Okay.
There are some good organizations out there that do help, either by teaching, or Patty Serrano has services that she teaches people how to get a podcast set up and things like that. And people like that, business women in business a little ahead of you, are the best tools to use, really, because you develop a mentoring relationship with that person, and you can gain so much from the mistakes she may or may not have made,
Right.
And hopefully avoid some of the pitfalls that we can experience.
that's true.
And that's really one of the things that Gutsy Woman tries very hard to do, is find the women, including myself, who are willing to mentor anyone who wants to learn. And you can warp speed the process, because we've already made all the mistakes. Well, not all of them. I still make some every day. But it is important that you have somebody that mentors you. Now, let me ask you this, because since I'm on the internet all the time, there are tons of women out there that are now using video and audio programs to teach you step by step. Have you ever considered taking one of those programs online?
Definitely. I've actually looked into signing up for a few of the courses, and I think it's a very effective way to learn, more than just reading through a website or a book, or the guides for people. I love the personal connection that you have by seeing you and me. And no, I don't get to see you as clearly, or perhaps we don't interact personally, but to have that eye-to-eye contact for an online video is significant. You have a connection to that teacher.
Right. And what else is going on out there is that the women who are actually putting these things up tie in somehow. They either create a forum that you can go to where everybody that's taking the class can ask the questions and answer each other. Because what I found is a lot of times when I give classes, the gals that are sitting in the audience know the answers. And so we have that, that camaraderie and that ability to pass off knowledge. But then another thing that they're doing, and I know that the Shopping Queen does this, is that she has calls every week where she actually will have people call into her because they have the questions.
Right.
So, if you don't have anybody in your local area, maybe you live out in the boonies or something, but you do get internet access, then you do have the ability to learn from these people who are doing the very basic step-by-step, and then they follow up with the kind of information that you need to ask questions, because we're all going to have questions, none of us. And that brings me to my next point, which is, you guys aren't afraid of technology. You're young. You've been brought up with it.
There's still fear. There are new things coming out every day. So even though, yes, we started with technology in middle school, and you're thinking, oh, their brains are all malleable. Yeah, but technology is moving faster than the rest of us are going. And unless you camp out at the technology store and you wait for the premiere of the next big product, you're going to find yourself feeling a little bit obsolete. Mm-hmm. And to not feel obsolete, of course, is to stay educated, to stay online and look at things. Get involved in the Twitter and the Ning, where they start to talk about the different things that are coming out and the ways that you can stay on top of things, really. And I think that's the best way to do that. The world is at our fingertips, at the computer. The internet is such a wonderful resource.
It is. And it's not only the technical stuff that you can find on there, it's the camaraderie, it's the mentorship, it's the experience of people who have been at it for a while, the problems that they've run into so you don't make the same problems. So I really encourage you guys out there to Gutsy Women is a great place to come because I can shoot you in the right direction, but there are so many ladies. There's a lady I'm working with right now, Diane Corriette, who's in the UK, Janet Beckers, who's in Australia. So those of you who are watching that are not from the United States, they're there for you, and I can certainly help you find them. But as you can see, there's a fear and a frustration with all of us. And what we try to do with Gutsy Women is we just really try to say, we're here to help you. We know it's hard. We can help you get over the worst of it. We can spur you on to action. We can give you the kind of mentorship and feelings that you need to really feel like you can do it. And we can help you figure out how to find the time. Because really, when you get into technology, what you're going to find is some of the softwares that are out there, some of the programs, some of the service providers are so fast and easy that you just kick yourself for not taking advantage of it. Right?
Absolutely.
Right. Yes. So that's it for Gutsy Women. We're going to have one more little chat, so come visit us next time. Until then, this is Debbie Ducic with Gutsy Women with a Z.